what creates advertising payback. And it started with the IPA in the UK, who've been doing the Advertising Effectiveness Awards for 30 years, and now have over 1,000 case studies, audited, peer-reviewed, quality-controlled, going back over 30 years. And they created Marketing in the Era of Accountability, which showed that it's not rational measures like information and persuasion that drives product. It's actually fame and emotion. And not surprisingly, television is the best, most effective medium at creating those and therefore driving sales, market share, customer loyalty, and profitability. But even more importantly, television's getting more effective over the decades, not less. That's been joined by several other big-scale studies. All in all, between them, these studies have looked in depth at more than 5,000 case studies over decades of data, all quality controlled and peer reviewed. And they all say the same thing. Television is the most effective. Television drives the effectiveness of other media. It's particularly effective at profitability by driving price up, and it's getting more effective over the decades, not less. This has had a knock-on effect, finally, on advertising spend, particularly in the UK, which is the most competitive marketplace in the world. And you can see the middle line there is TV. If we look closely just over the last 5 years, this message is finally getting through. Because TV, in 2010 and 2011, reached its highest share of advertising revenue it's ever achieved in its 65-year history. Why? Because the technologies that were supposed to have killed it have only succeeded in making it stronger. So that brings me to my last question. Given we know all of this now, where is television going as an advertising medium? I'm going to refer to two major studies I commissioned when I was at ThinkBox. The study we did with the IAB, looking at the relationship between TV and online, and a more recent study, Teleporting, where we basically transported families into television's near future and simply observed what would happen. The IAB study was the first study, I think, worldwide to show this relationship emerging between TV and online. And it was the first study to identify two-screening, where people would be watching TV with their laptop open in front of them. And that demonstrated that often within seconds of the TV ad going out, people were responding. And quite often we had real-life examples of people going through the whole purchase journey, from initial awareness of the product through to purchase during a single commercial break. I did have some videos to demonstrate this, but because of time, I won't show them. But what that study showed was that online wasn't eating up television's market. It was creating a really strong support channel, a fantastic response channel, which meant, to quote the Chief Strategy Officer of Mediacom, this meant TV is a point-of-sale medium. It's also a brilliant distribution channel for TV content and a fantastic promotional channel for TV content, both ads and programs. In terms of distribution, TV on demand via the internet is thriving. It's being monetized very, very successfully. It's worth a lot of money, and it's growing in double-digit figures, 25% per year. But while we should get excited about it, let's put it into context. In total, in the most advanced on-demand market in the world, that accounts for 3% of total TV viewing. And in terms of online as a promotional channel, let's take the lady on the left, the most unlikely global celebrity we've ever seen. This shy spinster from Scotland received 200 million YouTube views within a few days of going on Britain's Got Talent. And what most people forget is that degree of social activity boosted the audience for the program over 3 more series. And another unlikely celebrity is this chap here, Alexander the Meerkat. He's the public face of an insurance comparison site called comparethemarket.com. He's now got almost 1 million Facebook fans. His book was the best-selling Christmas book of 2010. And he's revitalized the most boring market in the world. There is nothing more boring than price comparison websites. But because of a cute meerkat and a brilliant television campaign, the whole market has been transformed. Our teleporting research just gave the latest technology to a group of families, installed it for them, taught them how to use it, and then left them to see what happened for 6 weeks. Again, because of time, I can't take you through the video, but the 5 main insights were consolidation of audiences around big programs again, because people can always find it. The hierarchy of screens in the living room. Deloitte came up with a figure recently which said almost 1/3 of UK households have got more screens than scatter cushions in their living rooms. How amazing is that? And the way they work together. The emerging relationship between television and social media. And the 4th one is a byproduct of that, the drive back to live TV programming. 14 million saw that Bayern Munich game last night. I would say 13.9.5 million watched it live. I can't go through those in depth, but just looking at the emerging living room ecosystem, the TV still maintains its place as the center for immersive entertainment. The laptop is very much about response and depth of interaction. And the smartphone is very much about communication and sharing. It's really interesting where the tablet comes in this. In some ways, it does all of those things. But if anything, it's probably moving more towards the laptop in terms of its role within this ecosystem. But of course, we now have one more piece of disruption to look out for, because TV sets themselves are becoming connected and therefore converged. And again, I could show you a video. I won't. I think time's probably running out. But it shows people talking about the power they feel with the advertising they receive. They can do with that advertising whatever they like. And it enables them to control it and feel so much power. But I'll leave you with just one example of how this is all starting to pan out. And it's based on an app that I know at least one retailer in the UK is currently developing. And this is how it works. If one of their products that they stock is advertised on TV, and the logo comes on, and the consumer has the app on their tablet or their smartphone, literally just the shake of the smartphone, and that product will go directly into the shopping basket of that consumer. One shake of a smartphone, and you've bought the product. I think that makes marketing and advertising even more exciting than it's ever been. And the point of all this research is the consumers are ready for it. The question is, are you? I'm sure you are. I'd just like to say, all the evidence I've talked about today is in my book. I've got a few copies with me, but I understand it may be translated into German later on this year. But if anything you've seen today makes you think, I'd like to know more, it's in the book. Meanwhile, I'll leave you with that. All I can say is, I've never known a more exciting time to work in media, to work in marketing, or to work in television. And I hope today's presentation has not just convinced you of that, but perhaps surprised you a little bit as well. Thank you very much.
David, you just talked about your book. It's recently published in English, but here is the good news. It will be published in German in cooperation with our 9 partners here in, I think, August or October or November. And you have some of these books with you.
I've got 5 with me.
Okay, the first 5 who will meet David in the Speaker's Lounge, they will get maybe this book.
Yes.
We will give it to you, I think, in October or November, to you in German. But the first 5 in the Speaker's Lounge can meet David, and they also can get the book. So 2 final questions, very short questions.
Yep.
I just pick up one thing from your speech. TV, dead or alive?
Very much alive. Different. The secret is to stop thinking of television as a dusty old box in the corner of the room and start to think of television as a converged digital medium.
And the second question, Bayern or Chelsea?
I'm a Manchester United fan.
That's okay.
And
But we hate them even more.
I went to Barcelona in 1999.
Oh, bad.
I lost my voice for 3 months afterwards.
Like me yesterday?
But because of that, I'm supporting Bayern Munich. Go Bayern.
Thank you so much. David Brennan. Thank you.